first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 38. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Lions at 3 and 4 on the year coming into play. But they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. He's got this complete to Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamal Williams with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. They find some open field here. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. A big play there, Rodgers to Cobb. 44 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tonyan. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Rodgers. And they're going to get him. They bring him down with a sack back at the 16-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's a hell-shredded defense.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. That's taken on the 25. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Lions 7, Packers nothing.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 5, 2nd and 4. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And it's caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level. McManus's point after is good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Detroit. Jameson Williams, 65 yards. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
On 24-yard attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
But for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Rodgers throw into the hands of Cobb. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. Now Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. He'll get it inside the 20, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lewis. Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Now it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly, but man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Yeah, they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Shoves him aside. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark. Touchdown, Detroit! DJ Chark, 41 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this... And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for Detroit. 43 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jamal Williams with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Batchley, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
39 yards there, a big one.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 2, Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown. Robert Tonyan, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is down to 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Flush to his right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
But with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Goff now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. It's a gain of 34. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Rodgers now on first down. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Packers. Allen Lazard, 45 yards. And the Packers get a bit closer. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, It actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10, and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. He had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your time.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play, because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From the 16, Goff. That's into a crowd and intercept. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Rodgers going to throw. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Aaron Jones
From 3 yards out.
And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. It's complete. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. And that'll make this a 10-point game. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown the last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
They run. It's Williams.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's got this down to the 35.
61 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. minutes. You're down fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only a 1-yard gain, but good enough to just about finish this one off.
Again, idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be getting a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Charles, a lot of